Sa World Remit, naiintindihan namin ang iyong paglalakbay. Na minsan, kailangan lumayo upang makamit ang tagumpay. With ways to save more, when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
Happy Tuesday mga kaibigan, no? Happy Tuesday. Welcome mo sa ating program. Ako po si SONNY LARAGAN dito po sa Legal Advice Corner on a Happy Tuesday. Ayan, 21st of December, which means 4 na araw na lang ho, Pasko. Pero para sa ating mga Pinoy, at parang 3 days na lang yan dahil the eve of Christmas. Yun ang parang mas masaya ho sa atin, di ba? Di ho ba, no? Meron tayong Noche Buena. Ano ba ang difference ng Noche Buena at saka Medianoche? Pero kung alam ho ninyo yung sagot, sabihin nyo sa amin, no? Dahil we rely on you guys naman. Ito ho ay samahan ho natin social, family, virtual bubble ho natin ever since. At mukhang magpapatuloy pa ho dahil lumalakas ang Omicron virus, no? Yung variant. Kaya't meron ako mga kaibigan, tinamaan ng Delta, isa ngayon yung aking Repa Peeps, Dabar Cards, at tinamaan ho rin ng COVID. Mamaya babanggit din ko sino yun. Pagka nakasama na ho natin yung star of the show natin every Tuesday, ang dahilan ho ay dahil dito ho sa taong ito, no? Dahil siya ho ang may expertise, may kaalaman in terms of legalities, no? Ng law, batas dito ho sa United Kingdom. Welcome ho sa ating mga kababayan sa 4 ng sulok ng United Kingdom, sa 4 ng sulok ho ng Europa na nakikinood ho sa atin. Tuloy ho kayo kabayan, at sino mang kababayan natin na nanonood sa atin saan mang bahagi o panig ng mundo, welcome ho sa inyo, no? Ako po si SONNY LARAGAN. Well, pakikilala ko na ho. Last week, supposedly niyayaya ko itong mag-dinner kami, lunch, dahil sa di pa ako nakapunta ng Bedfordshire. Gusto ko siyang makita ron, magkita kami. At nabanggit niya, mukha yatang somehow predominantly Italians ang nasa Bedfordshire. So, kaso meron silang, hindi ko naman nalaman na meron siyang special get-together, gathering ng kanyang mga kalaro, kababata, nung bata pa sila. Mga classmates niya. It's a good, maganda, no? Nagsasama-sama sila in another part of the world. Magkakasama kayong magkakaibigan, magkakaklase. Sa akin, parang fantasy yun. Parang feeling ko, it's a nice feeling. Siguro yung mga kaklase ko, kasama ko rito sa UK, sa London. Kaso wala Yung mga kaklase ko, either, sa high school, pinag-uusapan natin, either nasa Pilipinas o nasa California. Wala hong damer dito sa Europa ho, no? Ako lang ho nag-iisa doon sa batch namin. Kaya't malungkot ang buhay ko rito. Malungkot in the sense na hindi kamukha nitong kasama natin masaya dahil alam niyo na, mga kasama niya, kaklase niya, kalaro niya, kababata niya, no? Kasama niya. Mga kaibigan, pakikilala ko na siyempre yung ating pinakamamahal. She's a proud tayo, no? She gives us pride. For us Filipinos, to us Filipinos, she has raised the profile of Filipinos somehow dito sa United Kingdom by being the top of her on the top of her firm, no? Law firm, that's an achievement, no? To be the managing director of a law firm. Mga kaibigan, siyempre, welcome natin. Very sexy ho siya ngayon. Napakaganda ng suot niya. Pag nakita ho niyo, matutuwa kayo because talagang, wow, kakaiba ang itsura naman ni attorney. Last time natin nakita ko, parang black yung suot niya doon sa kanilang get-together. Na parang, no? Dress ba tawag doon? No? Anyway, mga kaibigan, ang managing partner, no? Ang pinakamamahal natin, ito yung picture, pakita mo nga. Mamaya, pagkalipat na natin sa kanya. Mga kaibigan, ang managing partner ho ng Deo Volente Solicitors, walang iba kundi si Attorney Danna Quinto. Attorney, Merry Christmas, good evening. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday! Merry Christmas, everyone! Magandang gabi sa lahat ng mga ka-remote social family bubble natin. At mukhang ma-extend pa ang ating social bubble na to dahil as we all know, it's been a bit wild out there with the Omicron cases. So a lot of us have tried to do our early Christmas parties, early Christmas gatherings. So kaya ako ay naka-Christmas party attire pa rin dahil na-cancel na yung iba. Yun na yun. Yun na po yun.
Wow,
Kaya
wow.
dito na lang tayo nasa well, celebration of life. You know, we've had lots of ikaw, Mr. Laragan, I think all of us personally, I won't mention names, but kami din personally and as well as within my circle, madaming mga nagkaroon ng health issues and all of that. We've got Typhoon Odette sa Pilipinas, so sa lahat ng mga kababayan, kamag-anak, mga kakilala natin, I hope everyone is keeping well and safe. Grabe yung devastation, the usual. Pag may mga, or I think a bit extraordinary kasi nakikita ko yung mga pictures sa Siargao, sa Cebu.
Cebu.
It's Cebu talaga,
Leyte,
no?
Southern Leyte. Marami tinamaan, no? Even Bohol.
Yes, exactly. But yung resilience ng Pilipino, ito yung yung kultura na natin na talagang maghahanap tayo ng positibo sa kahit gaano man kahirap, kadilim, kalamig, when things are pretty hard, we seek out each other. We try to find something positive. So probably this is me trying to find positive. I'll wear something nice. Kasi
Maganda. We like your attire.
I have to cancel my holidays to Greece now. Dahil dito po sa UK, madami din nagtatanong sa akin, ano na nangyayari sa Omicron variant nyo? Dahil nasa 100,000 na tayo. Mr. Laragan.
Grabe, we're the worst yata hit dito sa Europa, attorney, no? At
Exactly.
well, talking of I'm really sad, no, to hear na yung na-cancel mo, you have to cancel talaga your flight. Hindi mo pwedeng ilaban yan, no? Hindi mo alam ang mangyayari, no?
I have to probably postpone it. I'm going to see, kasi merong mga rumors, I think a number of factors played into the decision. The first thing is yung additional testing. I didn't have any problem with that. But the fact na pataas yung Omicron cases here, I'm much better off to make a decision. Either here, kasi what I don't want is to be stuck outside as well, abroad. Kasi given, yung responsibilities, cases, etc. You do want to come back here promptly when you should be back here. Also, madami nangyayari ngayon. It just didn't feel right. I don't wanna keep thinking kung positive or kung exposed ako, kung naka-holiday ako. Siyempre gusto mo medyo panatag yung isip mo na hindi mo na iisipin na exposed ba ako, pumunta lang ako sa market, ano ba nangyayari. So I think all in all, it's much better to stay put. A lot of, may isa din na dapat a-attendan ako na Christmas party a couple of days from now. Nag-cancel din sila. As a precaution, napakadami pong nagka-cancel as a precaution. People want, yung may self-lockdown daw, self-imposed lockdown tayo dito sa UK dahil we want to make it through Christmas. Yung Christmas celebrations, kasi it's the same for me and napakarami nating mga Pilipino or non-Filipinos, yun talaga yung kumbaga inaabangan natin. Yun hindi pa naman canceled, but a lot of people now are saying I don't want to be exposed until Christmas Day or Christmas Eve. So yun ang nangyayari, but naisingit yung huling celebration, which is a joint celebration namin yung mga kalaro ko.
Buti. Kalaro mo ba nung bata ka? Kalaro mo, grade school ba o high school mo kasama yung mga? Ito, sexy mo rito, attorney, ha? Ngayon, nakaputi ka. Ayan, wow, yeah, cute niya, attorney. Look at that. Saan niya? Where was it? Did you book a parang restaurant, a hotel? Paano ba yan? Saan yan?
a lodge. It's a lodge overlooking a lake. Napakaganda kasi kami lang. And that's better kasi safe kasi kami lang lahat, 'di ba? 6 lang kami. Parang nag-rule of 6 kami. Nag-self-impose kami ng rule of 6 plus a little child yung inaano kasi siya niya.
Saan yan, attorney? Okay, sabi mo, overlooking a lake, a lodge, saan yan?
Chichester po, West Sussex. So that's
Chichester. Okay, Chichester. Okay, yeah,
West
Chichester.
Sussex. So
West
that's not too
Sussex.
far away.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Okay, good.
good shout out sa mga kalaro ko na kasama ko over the
Ayan.
weekends.
Mga kalaro.
Si Josie. Yes,
Sino to?
that's Christine.
Christine?
I've known her for 25 years.
Wow.
Since 9 years old kami. So Christine, that's her birthday on the
Pero
25th.
teka muna, si Christine ba, attorney, manunukso lang ako. Si Christine ba, was she like that 25 years ago?
Opo.
Medyo bilugin na siya. Bilugin na siya.
Opo.
Okay. Akala ko ngayon na lang bumilog kasi. Okay. All right. Okay. Si Christine, may pictures pa ba tayo direct? May mga pictures photos pa ba tayo nung sa Chichester?
Kung
wala na yata, baka wala na. Meron pa ba, attorney? Direct?
Sa my story.
Oo, may photos ka pa ba ni
And
direct?
papakita ko next week. But I just want to say,
Oo.
belated happy birthday as well kasi birthday ni Josie. So isa din yun sa it was a birthday on the 19th, and Apple was there as well. All of them are nurses. Apple's married to Bill. I promised Bill na magsha-shout out ako. Bill is British, full British po si Bill. Pero si Bill po
okay.
ay marunong mag-Ilonggo.
Oh, wow. Galing, ha?
At kumakanta ng Ilonggo. Tuwan-tuwa ako. So maybe I'll bring him
Wow.
here one day for talent portion. Bill is
yeah,
amazing.
oh.
I said, and nakakatuwa kasi tayo minsan, nakakalimutan natin kung gaano ka interesting yung sarili nating kultura. And here's a person, purely British, as British as you can be. At talagang tuwang-tuwa siya. Talagang self-study siya. Nagsiself-study siya. Nanonood siya nakikinig siya ng radio station, news station na Ilonggo sa Pilipinas. And he was able to and he can follow us because we would speak Ilonggo. Kasi Ilonggo po kami lang. So we would speak Ilonggo.
Okay.
And hindi kami naiila kasi si Bill, sumasagot sa amin ng Ilonggo. So, tuwan-tuwa kami. So, shout out to Bill. Thank you, Bill, for being...
Attorney, because of love yan, di ba? Dahil sa pag-ibig, mahal na mahal niya yung kanyang wife. And talagang he went really out of his way to, that's his, parang indication of love yun, di ba? Inaral mo yung language. Diba?
Exactly.
Inaral mo. So,
Christine's married to Don as well. So Don, very nakakatawa kasi kahit yung mga husbands nila, game na game parang parang naging parang nabalik ka sa sa childhood mo. We were just playing cards, we were hanging out, the same joke that we say over and over again for 25 years.
Galing.
Tapos yung little one na, may baby, may Chanel. So, nakakatawa. It's very good.
So marami pala kayo, attorney. Marami kayo. Yung mga husbands. So 6 kayo plus yung mga hubbies.
No, kasama na po yung hubby doon. Apat kami na
apat
yung
kayo.
isa wala, Josie.
Tapos
Apat kami. So ano lang
hubbies.
kami, narulog 6 kami.
Plus one child, 7. Tama ba?
Yeah, plus one
galing,
child.
galing,
But it's a fairly medium-sized event. Quite safe kasi kami lang, and everyone's been taking lateral flow tests every day. So we tried keeping it as safe as possible. Doon na hindi kami din after the last minute, akala namin mahahagip kami ng restrictions. So medyo nakakakaba until the last minute kung matutuloy.
I know. Kaming mga Cagayanos, kasi yung father ko is from Cagayan Valley. So, I don't know if you know Luis Bariwan, yung ayaw ko kung naging managing director si Luis ng ABS-CBN. I don't know if you've been you haven't been yata to one of the Barrio Fiestas. Siya ang parang pinakamataas sa posisyon, but he's from Cagayan to Gigarao. And nag-organize ng mga taga-Cagayan na parang Christmas event namin. Wala, we had to cancel it. Everybody was so excited. Merong manggagaling pa ng Northern Ireland to come over para lang to join. Siyempre, yung mga nasa mainland dito, Wales, England, Scotland, they can just travel papunta rito. Pero in Northern Ireland, siyempre, kabilang ano yan, may dagat pa yan, di ba? So, nakapag-prepare na. Kinancel. It's best to cancel, di ba sabi nga ng WHO, attorney, you cancel your Christmas now, at least hindi yung forever ka-cancel ba? Kung mamatay ka, di forever kang magka-cancel ng, di ba? Ng iyong,
Yung
wala ka na, patay ka
dyan
na
it's best to cancel an event rather cancel a life. Yun daw yung sabi nila.
Yun, rather than cancel, kita mo, nakuha mo pa, the cancel a life yata ba? Tama ba?
Yeah,
Better
that's right,
cancel.
Robin.
Oo. Well, pinag-uusapan din yung COVID din. Would like to, yung ating best friend, good friend, tinamaan din si, I hope si Peps, no? Peps Villanueva, yung dear friend natin, kababa, Repa Pips, ibig sabihin Repa Pips Repa Pips, Dabar Cards, Chokaran, lahat na yan, no? Barkada. He's, nahawa yata, nagkaroon na get together sila ng mga Lasalites from Lasal last weekend. And then, meron siguro nakapagdala doon, tinamaan halos lahat sa kanila, majority. Oh,
Grabe. Omicron variant? Was it the Omicron? Kasi
yes, I guess kasi recent lang. Recent. So, kung weekend nangyari yun, yun nga, most likely Omicron yun eh. Kaya ako, masyado maingat ako, maski, hindi na ako nahihiya, maski hindi ko basta nagmamask ako lagi. Hindi na, dati kasi di ba nawala na yung mask sa atin? Medyo maluwag na.
Wala.
Ngayon, talagang magmamask ako. Kasi iba na ang life natin ngayon, Attorney. Ikaw, ingat ka rin, ha? Ako, mag-iingat din dahil para at least forever tayo magkakasama dahil, di ba, kung ako nag-iingat, di ka nag-iingat, ikaw nag-iingat, hindi ako nag-iingat, baka isa sa atin tamaan, hindi mo akalain yung accident. Di ba? Some of my people dear to me have passed away because of COVID, no? Yung malalapit
exactly.
sa
Lahat tayo na apektuhan. Tayo may kilala na namatay o na ospital o na positive o ngayon positive. I think it's very interesting. Ngayon ko na feel na talagang napapaligiran tayo ng it's very prevalent out there na talaga mataas yung cases. Compared to last year, dito talaga, mataas talaga yung cases ngayon. Although yung mga vaccinated or lahat ng nag-booster, I don't know if it's true, lahat na nag-booster has seems to be able to fight it off. And lahat ng mga unvaccinated, yun yung medyo talagang tinamaan. And yung mga second dose pa lang, who's had it many months ago, they were able to recover quicker than those unvaccinated. Yun lang yung hindi naman po ako WHO. Yun lang yung sarili kong mga nakita, na-observe sa mga, what I hear from stories, what I hear from people na may isa doon tabi talaga ng nagka-Omicron, but he tested negative. So, not since far, but still, ingat po tayo. Ingat po tayo.
Oo, ingat lang. Banggitin ko lang yung ating managing editor, di ba? Tinamaan ng COVID yan, si Maria. Talagang bagsak talaga yan. Hindi siya makatayo, hindi makagalaw. Akala niya from an ordinary trangkaso lang, tas malala. Ayun, talaga kung hindi tinakbo ng mga anak niya sa ospital, malamang wala tayong Maria na ngayon. Pero yan ang sinasabi ko, nag-aaway kami, kailangan magpabakuna. Hindi pa bakuna. Ayan.
Yes.
Sige, tinamaan. Kaya kayo, pabakuna na ho kayo. Hindi man yung, because it's also protecting your loved ones. Hindi lang yung sarili ninyo, yung loved ones ninyo dahil kayo, madaling tamaan ng virus, baka maipasa ho ninyo. Kailangan we have to be careful. It's an abnormal world. Hindi na normal. New normal na abnormal ang mundo ho natin ngayon. No, 'di ba? Attorney, hindi naman natin akalain nagkakaroon na naman ng restrictions. At saka sa Europe tayo pinakamataas yata, no? Sa Switzerland naghihigpit na sila. Tayo yung mga taga UK ayaw papuntahin sa Germany at saka sa France, 'di ba? Unless German ka nababalik sa Germany or French ka nababalik sa France.
And may rumors din daw po that they're about to do that sa Greece. Kaya din ako nag-cancel kasi may Greek na nakausap yung friend ko. The Greek mismo na nagtatrabaho dito, kinancel niya ang pag-uwi niya dahil ang rumors back home they're getting nervous about the UK's number of cases. So potentially I'm not saying it will, but there were talks of us just like France and Germany, nailalagay tayo sa red list na naman. Kasi nga po, talagang alam na alam sa buong mundo na tayo yung pinakamataas na cases.
Yung unang Pinoy na halos namatay, pamangkin, he was working in a travel agency. Ang layo nga kung tutuusin Dahil hindi naman siya galing ng kainitan ng pandemic. Nasa Italy, nasa Spain, ganun yata ang pinakamalalakas ng araw, di ba? Italy yung mas dramatic, di ba? He was working, he went to a parang parang tropical country yata. He was working as a sa travel agency. So he came back home lang sa airport. Yun, tinamaan siya. Patay ka agad in a few saglit, ang bilis. Nung COVID niya. Pamangkin ni Yvette something yung presidente ng Capitanius UK. Yung Capitanius UK. Yung pamangkin niya sa husband niya, ang one of the earliest na namatay. Yun, ang layo lang na. Basta healthy yun. Sumakay lang na aeroplano, umuwi lang. Pagdating niya ng bahay niya lang. This was during the time na yung wala pang masyadong maigpit sa aeroplano. Yung parang sisimula pa lang ang COVID. Siguro doon tinamaan na siya, because dahil wala pang, hindi pa natin alam kung anong COVID noon Tinamaan na siya, COVID. Talagang, yung lalo na yung early people who died, you cannot approach them. Hindi mo pwedeng lapitan. Hindi mo pwedeng puntahan Totally, pag namatay na yun na yun. Wala ka nang, hindi mo na madadala, masisilip, makikita.
Mga very, very,
yung unang batch, di ba? Yung mga yan, di ba? They didn't know what to do pa Baka masyado nakakaawa. So, relatives cannot see their dead loved ones, no? Doon sa pag namatay na. Mamatay ka lang sa ospital, wala ka na.
Kaya galit na galit yung mga tao sa Prime Minister natin daw. Ito yung nasa news because they said that they had to abide by those certain strict rules about about funerals, about all of that. And yun yung mga pictures ng wine and cheese na mga hanging out in the garden, na kumbaga work meeting daw. But,
kaya natalo yung kanilang di ba? Leave them. Ano ba naman yung leave them? Hindi naman pero nanalo because of yung sunod-sunod na di ba? The reason why they had a by-election because of sleaze, yung kanilang MP, Minister of Parliament, nasabit sa di ba? Sa parang ba yan? Lobbying yata or something, di ba? And he lobbied for something, tapos ganun. So nagkaroon ng eleksyon, no? Natalo ngayon because of sunod-sunod na yun, yung mga nag-party, di ba? Sino ba yung nag-resign? Yung kanilang parang press secretary o speaker nila na parang di ba?
That's right.
Oo.
Yeah, yung they had this practice pero nahuli talaga na parang something happened, wine and cheese and all of this. And then the pictures surface na talagang may something but they kept denying it. At talagang nawalan ng gana yung publiko na dahil kayo nga you're trying to flout the rules or binibend the rules, but hey, kailangan pa rin natin, we still need to get through this, so whatever it takes. Kaya ngayon you can see self-imposed lockdown, self-imposed policing, makikita mo na ang publiko na mismo ang gumagawa ng paraan.
Get well soon Peps pagaling ka agad si Peps na
na
COVID. Oo, sana nagkaroon na siya ng niya, di ba? At least meron siyang booster and everything. Sana makalusot siya diyan sa yung kanyang COVID na yan. So, ingat. You're looking very sexy tonight, attorney. I'm sure may mga babati sa ating mga kababayan, no? Because you look very sexy doon sa black dress mo. Direct, pakita nga natin yung black dress.
It's green, by the way. Green po yan, green. Green
ba yan? Green? Ayan, green ba yan?
Very dark.
Green pala yan. Oo, green. Tama. Oo. Ayan, Christmas. At least, nakakaingit yan. Gusto kong mangyari yan. And I was thinking, attorney, the last time that I was with I celebrated my birthday in 2019 with yung mga kalaro ko yung hindi ako na gano'n ng anybody na mga kilala ko sa showbiz, sa politics, wala kundi solo mga kaibigan lang ng mga kababata. my wish is to bring a couple of kababata dito and just we tour Europe, no? Parang yun ang aking one of my dreams, no? Kaya at least ikaw, kasama mo yung mga kaklase mo, nakakatuwa, nakakaingit, no? Nakakaingit yan. Naingit ako. So, okay. Pagbati, let's go ahead. Sino sa palagay mo? Hulaan lang. Sino una? Palagay mo?
Sa palagay ko, I have a
hula lang.
gut feeling. Rudy Librojo.
Rudy Libro. Uy, si Rudy Libro, si Mia, ha? Who knows?
Mia
Biglang baka ano yan, female na Filipino Ed Sheeran yan, no? Mausay ang mga compositions ni Mia. Saludo ko. Yan, matagal ko na sinasabi nung araw pa. Okay. Direk, sige, sino ang ating una? Si Rudy Libro nga ba? Oy!
Sorry, Oliver. Sorry.
Oliver. Hindi, okay lang yan. Walang ano yan. Sige, Oliver. Pwede nyo kami mapanood sa YouTube pala. YouTube and Facebook. Okay. Attorney, sige, pakibasa na.
Bago profile picture ni Oliver looks good. The family looks good. A beautiful Tuesday morning here in the incredibly rich, exciting, and lively city of Las Vegas in the middle of Nevada Valley. Oh my! We are currently in the Palazzo Suites of the Venetian Hotel for a well-earned vacation. Vacay. Good evening, Attorney Donna, Kuyasani, and Direk Pao. Happy holiday. Cheers to one and all. Thank you. Naku naman, nanonood pa rin habang bakasyon. Wow, very well-earned.
Teka muna. Ikaw, Oliver, sabi ni Oliver Attorney, kasi couch to 5K siya, no? Nasa week 3 na yata siya. Ikaw ba, Oliver, naitutuloy mo pa rin ba yung C to 5 mo, no? O 5K, no? Diyan sa Las Vegas, no? At saka pagka Amerikano at saka Pilipino, vacation, no? Di ba?
Vacation. Holiday
vacation
sa atin.
Sa atin, holiday. Iba tayo sa atin, holiday tayo. Sa kanila, round trip sa atin, ano sa atin? Return yes. Ticket. Sa kanila, round trip ticket, tayo return. Okay. Sige, sino ang pangalawa? Hulaan mo rin, para katuwa lang. Total Christmas naman.
Marian Galicia Paner.
Marian Galicia Paner. Direct, tingnan ka natin. Yan. Yes! Galing! Yes. So, wow.
Marian, profile picture. Naglalabasan ng mga profile picture ngayon. Hello po from Marian Galicia Paner. Magandang gabi po, Kuya Sonny and Attorney Donna, at sa lahat, Happy Tuesday po and stay safe and God bless us po. Marian Galicia Paner, Happy Tuesday!
Marian, Happy Tuesday! Mabuhay. Okay.
Advance Merry Christmas.
Sige. Next pa, hulaan po na. Attorney, sige, katuwaan lang. So, tama ka sa pangalawa.
Edgar Duay, nasan ka? Edgar Duay, maybe Edgar Duay.
Let's see, Attorney, tingnan nga. Ayan. Ba, may fanfare talaga, which is good. Tama yan. May Tigbaw Vargas. Si May.
Vargas. Nagbabalik si May na early. May Tigbaw Vargas is saying, good evening, Sir Sonny, LARAGAN, and Attorney Donna. Happy Tuesday po sa lahat. Watching from Exeter, Devon. Stay safe and God bless. Ang ganda din ng profile picture. Ang ganda ng profile picture natin. Mga viewers and subscribers.
Tama.
Good evening.
Ito yung hinulaan mo. Sige, Rudy.
Rudy is saying, magandang gabi ng masayang Tuesday. Maligayang Pasko sa ating lahat. Magandang Attorney Donna, always mga looking pogi, Sir Sonny and Sir Edgar, and lovely Direk Paula and all viewers from Team Librojo.
Team Librojo, yes. Sa kanila, Librojo, no? Librojo sila, ano? Okay, yes. Mabuhay ka, Rudy, ha? And si Mia, no? And the family, no? Ayun.
Si Ma'am Evelyn Rafael ay nagbabalik. All cups. Good evening, Sonny and Attorney Donna. Happy Tuesday to you both and everyone. Happy Tuesday, Ma'am Evelyn Rafael.
Happy Tuesday, Emily, no? Mabuhay. Ito, every time na may show ka lang, pumapasok to. Hindi pumapasok to kay kay Attorney Dana, Attorney Lira, Sa'yo lang lagi, paborito ka nito si Edgardo, no?
Edgardo kagahasyan kanina. Kamusta meeting mo, Edgardo? Edgardo was saying may meeting siya, so baka mag-greet lang siya. Good evening, Mr. LARAGAN, Attorney Dana, and Direk Pao. Happy Tuesday and Merry Christmas to all.
Happy Tuesday.
Edgar was going to Edgardo was going to share a story about Christmas lights dun sa neighborhood niya. So, ewan ko kung andyan ka pa, Edgardo, feel free to tell the story.
Parang
Kung andyan ka po.
ang lakas mo yata, attorney, kay Edgardo, no? Hindi sumusulpot, bihira yan, sumulpot kay Attorney Lira. Pero dito sa Legal Advice Corner, consistent to, no? Reporter pa natin.
Baka nasa work pa siya pag Thursday.
Baka conflict yung Thursday, no? Pero actually, 6 o'clock yung show natin dito, doon 7:30 ng gabi. So dapat between the two, mas mahahagip niya yung kabila. Pero talagang love na love ka nito si Edgardo, attorney, eh. So,
Nalap din natin yung Edgardo, eh. Yeah, Emmeline Rafael says, get well soon, Peps, and stay safe. Yes,
so get well soon, Peps.
Praying for your speedy recovery.
Speedy recovery, no?
Ayan, Darmin Valerinon. Good evening, Kuya Sonny and beautiful attorney Dana. Good evening, Darmin. Si Darmin nakikita ko parati sa social media. Nakakatawa yung mga pinopost niya, eh.
Si Almira.
Emmeline Rafael says, si Amira. Ang dami ng Amira, yeah.
Your daughter, no?
Si Ma'am Emmeline Rafael says, watching from Abu Dhabi with love. At all caps. Kaya, maganda pakiramdam ni Ma'am Emmeline Rafael naka-all caps.
Emmeline, mabuhay ka. We are so happy na ikaw ay alive and kicking. I mean, andiyan ka pa sa Ingat-ingat. Kumusta ba dyan sa Abu Dhabi? Naghihigpit ba? Mataas ba ang COVID? Tumama na ba yan ng ang Omicron? Pero usually ang mga 'di ba, pagka ganyang mga maiinit na bansa, parang kamukha sa Pilipinas. Mukha yatang tuloy ang Pasko sa Pilipinas, eh.
Mas may Pasko po sila ngayon sa Pilipinas.
Sa Pilipinas dito wala. Tayo wala rito, di ba? Bitin.
Yeah.
Sila nagpa-party na sila, lumalabas na sila. Dito hindi, talagang ingat na tayo dahil lumalakas ang Omicron, ha? Hindi biro 'yan. We have so many loved ones who have passed away, no? Kakilala.
That's right.
Hindi na natin babanggitin yung mga ibang no? Pero yung mga kaibigan natin na may sakit ngayon at tinamaan, ingat-ingat lang. We pray that you're for your speedy recovery. Speedy recovery.
Huwag naman sleepy.
Okay.
Pero sige, tumig mo rin po.
Ano na yan?
Sige, sabi ko kasi sleepy po, sobrang fatigue ata sila. So, pwede pa rin.
Pwede sleepy.
Pwede pa rin sleepy recovery.
Ayan. Okay, magbe-break muna tayo, attorney, at I think discuss mo yata parang ayan, ito, Jargon Buster, Children.
Hiniram ko yung topic ni Attorney Lira. I-credit ko naman siya, Maraming salamat, Attorney Lira, para sa idea na to. At ihiramin ko sa Children Act proceedings. So, mga
okay, Jargon Buster. Para maintindihan natin, no? May mga terminology.
Typical na mga maririnig nyo, mga acronym, mga phrases used. So we're going to go to mga 20 lang naman. Very quickly, these are the things that you will hear over and over again. If nandun ka sa Children Act proceedings, basically just means kung mag-a-apply ka for contact sa mga bata. Ito yung mga custody battles na tinatawag nila. Although hindi na po yan yung tawag. But that's the idea.
Okay, all right. So at least malaman ho natin yung mga terminology, no? Para sa ganun pagka na-discuss in future again, at least meron na tayong yung mga salita, acronyms and everything, maintindihan natin. Okay, all right. We're gonna have a short break at pagbalik ho natin yung mga jargon buster natin, no? Yung mga terminolohiya o terminologies or acronyms na ginagamit sa children's children's custody proceedings.
Children Act proceedings.
Proceedings.
That's the formal term. Pero again, yun yung iniisip nyo, yung mag-a-apply ka ng custody o mag-a-apply ka ng contact with your child. So that's it.
Ako natututo ko last time, yung frustrated, yung isang legal term pala yun. Yung prescription, di ba? Akala nyo prescription sa gamot, pero sa legal din, meron prescription. Pag prescribe, natapos na, wala nang, paso na, merong ending o hindi ka na pwede siguro mag-file ng action, no? So, okay, we're gonna have a short break at pagbalik ho natin yung mga jargon buster ho natin na didiscuss ni attorney. Saglit po lamang, huwag ko kayong alis.
Mula doon hanggang ngayon, serbisyong mapagkakatiwalaan, serbisyong maaasahan pagdating sa inyong mga padalang balikbayan boxes. Dito ka na sa Forex Cargo. Sa presyong kayang-kaya ng bulsa, sigurado ka pa sa inyong padala. Forex Cargo. Dahil kailangan makarating. Call 0208-813-7064. O ano pang inaantay niyo mga kabayan? Tayo na sa Forex Cargo.
100% all natural. Tasty. Healthy. Versatile. 4 unique flavors. Taste a real sauce. Galettos.
May problema ka ba sa landlord mo? Baka AV ka na ni Kuya. May problema sa mga kapitbahay, sa trabaho. O kaya naman kay Mister o kay Mrs. Away tungkol sa mala, mga may utang, mga aksidente, daing o laban sa ospital or sa NHS. Harassment? O baka naman may stalker ka na gusto mong ireklamo? Punta na sa DV Solicitors para matulungan ka pagdating sa mga litigations at iba pang mga legal concerns. DV Solicitors at 2nd floor, Howard House, St. John Street, Bedford, MK42 0DJ. Tumawag sa 01234-350-244 or 01234-225-188 o kaya naman mag-email sa d.quinto@dvsolicitors.com. Visit our website at www.dvsolicitors.com.
Attention sa mga healthcare personnel, ikaw ba ay naghahanap ng trabaho sa healthcare na may magandang sahod, flexible na shift at mahusay na working conditions? Kung oo ang sagot mo, KNR Care ang bahala sa iyo. Kami ay kasalukuyang naghahanap ng mga general nurses, specialist nurses, healthcare assistants, support workers at mga carers. Makipag-ugnayan sa amin ngayon para sa agarang pagsisimula, alamin ang iba't ibang opportunities sa KNR Care dito sa Greater London area. Tumawag sa 0208-154-3009 o mag-email sa info@krcare.co.uk. KNR Care, okay to, kabayan!
Sa World Remit, naiintindihan namin ang iyong paglalakbay. Na minsan, kailangan lumayo upang makamit ang tagumpay. With ways to save more, when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.
Okay, tuloy-tuloy ho tayo sa ating program, no? Dito ho sa Legal Advice Corner on a Happy Tuesday. Siya nga ho pala, gusto ko lang paalala, no? Doon sa mga, baka may mga kaibigan ho kayo, no? Medyo maganda ho ang kumbaga, kanilang bayad. Ito ho ang KNR Care, no? Ayan, pakilipat lang direct. Ayan.
Attention sa mga healthcare personnel, ikaw ba ay naghahanap ng trabaho sa healthcare na may magandang sahod, flexible na shift at mahusay na working conditions? Kung oo ang sagot mo, KNR Care ang bahala sa iyo. Kami ay kasalukuyang naghahanap ng mga general nurses, specialist nurses, healthcare assistants, support workers at mga carers. Makipag-ugnayan sa amin ngayon para sa agarang pagsisimula, alamin ang iba't ibang opportunities sa KNR Care dito sa Greater London area. Tumawag sa 0208-154-3009 o mag-email sa info@krcare.co.uk. KNR Care, okay to, kabayan!
Okay, so K and R Care, no? Care and R Care, tawagan ho ninyo. Tek muna, ilalabas ho ni Direk yung telepono, no? Telephone number, nang sa ganun ay maipakita natin. Ayan. Okay, tawagan lang ho ninyo, no? Sabihin ho ninyo, napanood ho ninyo dito sa Filipino TV Europe or sa Pinoy Radio UK, napakinggan ho ninyo, no? Ang telephone number 0208-154-3009. So, Emeline, baka may kaibigan kayo, mga kaibigan na kakilala, tawagan ninyo, no? 0208-154-3009. Okay, balik ho tayo sa ating programa at tuloy-tuloy ho tayo dito po sa Legal Advice Corner. Kasama ho natin siyempre yung pinakamamahal natin abogada, no? Walang iba, kundi si Attorney DANNA Quinto. Ayan. Iniisip ko yung Danielin eh. Danielin kasi mahaba yun, di ba? Danielin.
Danielin Christina.
Christina. Yun nga. Iniisip ko sabi ko, Danielin. Ayan. Si Attorney DANNA. Ayan, Quinto. Okay. Ayan, well, welcome back. At least, merong hindi pumapasok sa ating sa Facebook. Pero sige, tignan natin, baka magawa ng paraan ni Direk, no? Okay. Alright, attorney, sige, yung jargon buster natin, no? Sige, go ahead, please.
Yes, hiniram ko po yung topic ni Attorney Lira because it's quite useful looking back when Mr. Laragan is saying na nare-remember yan yung mga special terms. Ito yung mga sometimes unusual terms but special terms that you hear in law, and it's quite helpful kasi pag nandun ka na sa sitwasyon, it's easier to understand the whole situation kung alam mo kung ano yung mga yung language na ginagamit, ano ba yung mga acronym na to, ano ba yung parating sinasabi nila Kafkas, ano ba yung live with order, ano ba yung sinasabi nila na fact-finding FF, what are these all about? So let's start first and foremost with the most probably misused, not updated na term dahil lahat tayo, even myself, I still use it sometimes. I still use the word custody. I still use that where that goes many years ago. Naririnig ko, Attorney Dana, can I apply for custody? Ako ba mananalo sa custody battle namin? Ako ba yung magiging parent with custody rights? First of all, the name has changed. The reason behind that is gusto ng korte na medyo neutral yung connotation. Hindi na yung parang, custody, ako yung nanalo. Gusto nila mas neutral, mas less emotive yung words. So what we use now is what we call a live with parent. So live with parent or a live with order. So who gets the child most of the time, kung nasan yung main residence ng child, yung parent with the main residence of the child is called the live with parent or the primary carer or the resident parent. We use that interchangeably, but the proper order is now called live with order. Hindi na custody, live with order. So live with, I live with mom or I live with dad. So that's the reasoning behind it. Ano naman tawag pag hindi ka resident parent? Kung you just have alternate weekends plus a Wednesday, every other weekend, every other week. What is it? What does that? What does it? What's the title of that? Ano ba label niya ngayon? Ngayon tawag dyan, I spend time with parents. So it says, spend time with dad on the following days, or spend time with mother on the following days of the week, etc. So, ito yung mga phrases na makikita nyo po sa legal documents. These are the phrases that you will hear sa mga hearings under Children Act proceedings. This is only Children Act proceedings. Any proceedings involving the children. Iba yung wording for financial dispute under divorce. Iba din po ang mga wording na ginagamit for civil litigation. Just for today, we're just going to focus with Children Act proceedings. So, as I've said, yun yung makikita nyo, spend time with, diba? Parang neutral lang, hindi siya combative, hindi siya parang may nanalo ka. You spend time with dad on the following days, you spend time with mom on the following days. Now, you see this on what we call CAO. Baka makita nyo yan sa mga email ng abogado nyo, sa mga notes ng korte, emails from court. CAO, what does that mean? That is Children Arrangement Order. So ito na yung either final order ng court, either you reach it via consent, nag-usap-usap kayo after long proceedings, Kafka's recommended something, and then finally you agreed, or talagang pinag-iwayan nyo until the end and the court has to impose an order on you. That final order, final piece of document, it's called CAO, and yung abbreviation namin, or we call it Children Arrangement Order. Okay? Now, we go to probably the second most usual orders na hinihingi kung may international element ang pamilya. And sa ating komunidad, when we have families back home, marami akong naririnig na concern about baka dalhin sa Pilipinas yung bata at hindi na ibalik. The same with other immigrant communities, but there's always that concern at the back of the head na, they can easily go back home and I might not see them again. So what normally they ask is we call it PSO, a Prohibited Steps Order. In this case, yung parati mong, but one of the most common prohibited steps order is to prevent the removal of a child from the UK jurisdiction. Bawal tanggalin sa UK. So prohibited steps order, hindi lang yun ang pwede gawin ng korte, but that's the common example ng order na ito. So a prohibited steps order, by its name, would simply just prohibit someone, either the mother or the father, to do something in respect of the children's lives. The most common thing na pinaprevent is to take the children abroad kasi mas mahihirapan tayong kunin sila pabalik sa UK jurisdiction. So that's called PSO. Baka makita nyo yan again sa orders ng court, sa notes ng abogado, or sa email. That is prohibitive steps order. Meron naman another form of order which is called a specific issue order. If you hear that, what does that mean? Exactly as it sounds like, the court will make a ruling or determination about a certain issue. Common examples, sinong hahawak ng passport ng bata? Saan mag-aaral ang mga bata? Pag multi-faith ang family, what religion should the child be brought up with? And also extracurriculars, so on and so forth. So any issue na hindi kayo you don't agree as parents of the child, you can raise it with the court, and the court will, if you can't agree on it, will try to make a determination. And I always say this, ano ba yung rule ng court? Very, very easy in this area of law, but easy in terms of one-liner lang po siya. Madali lang po siya tandaan. The paramount consideration, ang pinaka-importanting consideration, and is the best interest of the children. That's it. Hindi kung ano yung preference mo o ano yung mas convenient para sa kabilang partido, mas convenient sa'yo. It will be what is the most important, what is in the best interest of the child. So kung hihingan tayo ng prohibited steps order, PSO, kung hihingi tayo ng specific issue, passport, education, health, extracurricular, kung hihingi tayo ng final children arrangement order, CAO, all of this will be tested by this certain criteria. What is in the best interest of the children? Yun lang. At yun lang ang importante sa proceedings na to. Now, we're gonna go forward. Ito na yung mga acronyms na parati mong maririnig. FHDRA. Napakahaba naman. Kakita mo yan. FHDRA. Ano ba yan? Ano ba yung FHDRA? That is the first hearing and dispute resolution appointment. Basically, it's the first hearing in a children's proceeding. So, dun aalamin ng korte, ano ba nangyayari? Ano ba yung safeguarding risk? Ano ba yung problema ng pamilya na to? Ano ba yung mga concerns natin in terms of keeping the child safe and well? What is in the best interest of the child moving forward? So yun ang nangyayari dun sa FHDRA, First Hearing Dispute Resolution Appointment. So the court will say, well, if you can't agree, kung wala namang malaking issue, if you can't agree, kung kayo lang talaga nag-aaway, it's better that you agree. But if there are serious issues, pwedeng sumama itong susunod na mga babanggitin ko. The first is LA. We call them LA, or the local authority. Ito yung mga council po. Sometimes they can intervene kung yung parehong parents ay napapabayaan yung mga anak, or may abuse, or their relationship is so abusive to each other that they can't look after the child, or they themselves are abusive towards the children. So the local authority can intervene, and they can form part of the proceedings. And you will hear them being mentioned as LA, like Los Angeles, but not in this instance. It's local authority. Here, sa place ko, it's Bedford, the Bedford Council. In other places, I don't know, with Mr. LARAGAN, I think it's Walthamstow, I'm not sure, Lambeth ata sa kanila. So that is the local authority. Sila po ang meron din po silang safeguarding duty towards the children, to look after them. Kaya makikita nyo pag may mga issue like baby P, yung mga hindi nila naprotektahan, they'll end up in press, they'll end up in news. Na, bakit? How did the system fail this child? So that's the reason why nag-i-intervene yung local authority sa mga family situations dito, because under the law, they have a duty to protect the children who are vulnerable or who are under abusive parents or abusive situations. The next one, this definitely you will hear if you are a part of Children Act proceedings. That's CAFCAS. Parating nating sinasabi yan when I talk about any children proceedings. CAFCAS is an abbreviation for Children and Family Court Advisory and Support Services. Although most of the time, if not all of the time, CAFCAS lang po talaga yung tinatawag namin sa kanila. So CAFCAS represents the children in family court, and they advise the court about what is in the best interest of the children. They are mostly social workers. They are well trained in this job. They're not lawyers, but they're more on the social science side of things. So they're able to give an independent recommendation to the court via reports, via their due diligence, multi-agency. They will liaise with other agencies to tell the court, this is the situation for this child. We spoke with both parents, and sometimes they will speak with the child as well. Kakausapin yung mga bata, kakausapin kayo. And they will try to get a picture of what is happening, what are the issues, what are the risks, and how we can move forward bearing in mind the best interest of the child. And they will actually say that, they will write that in a report, and they will give that to the court. The court will make the final decision in the end, but they do give they play a major role in this proceeding. So that's called CAFCAS. You will hear them. They are part of day one. Yung sabi natin FHDRA. Sometimes they will do their safeguarding checks before that first hearing and dispute resolution appointment. Sometimes they will form part. Sometimes they will be asked to do a report later on, which I will mention later. It's called Section 7 report. I'll expand on that later on. So very important, CAFCAS. Next, schedule of allegations. Dati po tawag namin dito ay Scott schedule. Minsan Scott, schedule pa rin ang tawag ko. Although ang formal name niya na ngayon, the schedule of allegations. As it says, ito yung allegations niyo sa isa't isa. It's like a table format. You will hear this, sasabihin ng court, ikaw, may complaint ka dyan sa kabila, may allegation ka. Lagay mo, you have to list. Normally, 6 to 7 lang ang ililimit ng korte. And then, the other side will get a chance to respond dun sa allegation na yon in the same table format. And he or she may also give a cross allegation dun sa kabilang partido. So in terms of sasabihin ng korte, paano yan, ng mga kliyente ko rather, o sabi niya ang dami niyang pinagsasabi, do I get the chance na masabi ko din kung ano yung response ko? Yes, you will, and you may even have a chance to give your cross allegations via this table-like form that we call schedule of allegations, or before we call it Scott schedule. Now, pag malalim, seryoso, at komplikado ang allegations nyo sa isa't isa, and it seems serious, it imposes a serious risk to the safety of the children and the welfare of the children, and the court can't really see who's, on first instance, parang hindi klaro, each of you have your own version of the truth. He said this, she said this. What tends to happen is you will have what we call a fact-finding hearing, or FF, as we call it between lawyers. We abbreviate it as FF. That, as the name indicates, is a fact-finding hearing. Basically, could be 1 day or 2 days. You'll be put in the witness stand and you will ask about those allegations na nakalagay dun sa schedule of allegations. And you will ask about your own allegations against the other party. So literally, it's a fact-finding mission. Titingnan kung sino nagsasabi ng totoo. That's it. That's all it is. After that, the court can say, likely than not, this person is telling the truth about this, or sometimes if they don't have enough evidence, they will make no finding at all, and then they will direct yung sinabi ko kanina, Kafkas, these are our determinations of facts. Based on that, can you please do a report, a Section 7 report, or a welfare. Section 7 report is basically their recommendations after they have gone through, meron silang welfare checklist. So they will talk to both parents. If the children are old enough, they will talk to them. Depende sa sitwasyon. There's no hard and fast rule na, pag ganito, pag 7 years old, sa nanay agad. Wala pong ganyan sa UK. Or pag 7 years old, kakausapin na ng Kafkas. They will talk to younger children if they think it's appropriate. They will visit and see younger children, like babies, if they think it's appropriate. Obviously, they can't get their own statements, but they will apply, whatever methods that is required for the best interest of the children, so that they can find out what are the best recommended steps forward for this family. So based on those determination of facts, they will use that, they will talk to all the participants, and they will produce a Section 7 report. And you will hear a lot of it, Section 7. It's quite important, very, very important in a case. Now, position statement. What is this position statement? Position statement, again, we call it, mahilig kami mag-abbreviate sa law, we call it PS sometimes. Just say PS, where's your PS? Position statement is just before the hearing, your lawyers would produce your position statement, which is a summary of your position at that time. Kung ano yung sinabi mo, eto ang gusto kong mangyari at this hearing. So, you may be asked to check your position statement kung naintindihan ba ng abogado mo kung ano yung gusto mong, yung objective mo sa certain hearing na yan before they give it to the court and they give it to the other side. So, it sets the tone of the hearing. Walang gulatan po dito, hindi to gulatan. So, both lawyers and the court knows ano yung sitwasyon from each side, and then we can work towards what we need to do for that hearing. Now, I mentioned about Section 7 report. Ano ba yung mga, sinabi ko may mga recommendations yung CAFCAS. Obviously, pwedeng recommend if there's a certain number of issues pa, may hindi pa sila sure kung lahat ng safeguarding risk na-address na ng non-resident parent. But they are willing to build that relation. They will say, oh, we need to rebuild the relationship. They might recommend what we call a supervised contact. Ano ba yung supervised contact? Supervised contact is that there's a third party supervising the contact. May kasama ka when you spend your time with your children. It may be formal via a contact center. I will explain that later. Or it may be a relative. May mga instances that it's an auntie or a grandmother or another relative, another elderly relative that will assist in supervising this contact. The reason for this is much more in the formal setting. Yung sa mga contact centers, they are professional trained social workers. They'll supervise as well as take notes, contact notes, how you are, and see if there's progress, yung mga concerns ng korte, concerns ng CAFCAS, if it's being dealt with, maayos, kung nag-i-improve ba yung relation, nagiging mas positive ba yung relationship. And that hopefully will be the basis for a less supervised or unsupervised contact in due course. So papadaanin ka muna doon before ka makakuha ng completely unsupervised contact. So, or before that, you can have a supported contact. So before ka graduate towards a supervised contact and overnight contact, you will have supported contact. What is a supported contact? Gagamitin niyo pa rin yung contact center, but only for handovers or for facilities. Hindi na kayo sinusupervisahan, hindi na kayo, wala ng contact notes. It's just being used as a neutral location. Kasi minsan, pagpupunta ka sa bahay ng ex mo, maybe nakikita ng korte, andun yung pattern, nag-aaway kayo all the time. So the court will say, well, why don't you go to supported contact? Time is a beautiful thing most of the time. As this goes on for a while, andun na yung routine, time heals wounds, kung ano man yung mga nangyari dun sa relationship between parents, it is hope that with this step-by-step na process, nag-heal din yung relationship nila, and then at some point, hindi na kailangan ng mga social workers, hindi na kailangan itong mga contact centers so that they can go to unsupervised contact, na sila na mismo yung mag-arrange ng sarili nilang handover. So that's one of the things. One of the progression in terms of a recommendation of CAFCAS. Supervise muna tayo, supported, and then we can have unsupervised contact, and then overnights, and then that will be reviewed depende sa age ng bata, school age, and so on and so forth. They may also recommend courses. Courses as in you go attend a course. Online now used to be face-to-face before COVID. So a couple of courses that a lot of my clients said is very, very useful. The first one is called SPIP. Maririnig niyo po parati ito. It's called Separated Parents Information Program. Ito is neutral, both parties, kaya ikaw man yung nagsabi na, ikaw man yung nag-complain about sa kabilang partido, sometimes you will still be asked or requested, hindi naman mandatory minsan, but highly recommended to take this SPIP course. Because it's from my own experience, from what I hear, from my own experience as a lawyer, hearing feedback from parents, magkaiba po ang parenting, na joint kayo, and then separated na kayo. With the Separated Parenting Information Program, you will now learn separately. Hindi kayo magkaklase ng ex mo. It's okay, don't worry. You will learn how to parent as part of this bagong unit na kayo eh. Hindi na kayo joint. So you're separated people but still are co-parents. So very important, I think. Kahit hindi po i-recommenda sa inyo, please have a look at it. I think it's 4 hours online course. You can have an online course. It's really, really useful. With others na medyo mas may issue or concern sa kanila, they could, Kafka's or the court could say, well, you have to do triple P parenting course. My client said, absolutely brilliant. It helped him generally just deal with parenting, again, as a separated father, of children of different ages, kasi iba yung parenting mo when they're 6 years old, when they're 3 years old, when they're 2 years old, or when they're a teenager. So just even outside of the children proceedings, it's very, very useful. There are other courses depending sa concerns ng korte at concerns ng Kafkas. If there's a concern about domestic abuse or other behaviors, they might recommend or order other courses specific to that issue. So I wouldn't go through that because of time limitation today, but I think those terminologies that I know today, they are the foundation. Yun yung parati nyo pong ma-encounter. Probably terminologies I've used throughout the time here when we're talking about Children Act proceedings. But don't worry, as I've said, kung hindi klaro, tanong lang po. Tanong lang, yung lawyer nyo, whether Filipino man siya or hindi, they'll be happy to clarify it for you. Because at the end of the day, it is your case, it is your life, it is your family. You know, kami ay hired help lang ng pamilya nyo. Hopefully, we could bring you to a place that is much better compared to yung nag-aaway or nagkakaguluhan. The idea here is, you know, it's not about who's going to win or not, but the idea is we can hopefully get to a position where it's best for everybody, but most importantly, it is best for the children. What is in the best interest of the children? That's all for today. That's Jargon Busters for Children Act proceedings. We'll do another similar one next week, just after divorce, just after Christmas. Perhaps we'll do something on divorce and financial proceedings. But hopefully this is enough to give you a good starting point in this proceedings.
Ba, okay yan, attorney, no? At may dagdag kaalaman tayo. Okay to, teka na. Bukas ba? Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Napakinggan ko sa FHDRA, no? Para first
FHDRA.
hearing and the end ba? Or first hearing and disputes resolution appointment. LA,
Yes, correct.
local authority. Hindi ako taga Lambeth. Ang aking Wandsworth, attorney.
Wandsworth, I'm sorry.
Wandsworth, Lambeth, ano pa yung mga ibang mga hindi ko masyadong kabisado, no? Kapkas, Children and Family
Council, yeah. That's it.
Hackney, bandang north yan eh. Basta parang gusto kong sa east east, no? Southeast. Ano ba mga Hackney, parang north na konti sa yan, di ba? Hackney.
Yeah.
North ng konti lang, a bit northeast yata or something. Okay, Kapkas, Children and Family Law Advisory Service, tama ba yan? Or Services?
Children and Family Court Advisory and Support Services.
Support and support services. Ayun, Yung schedule of
Right.
allegations, how did you pronounce it? Meron kang sinasabi doon dati.
Schedule, yeah.
Schedule of allegations.
Yes.
Oo.
Slightly British
Schedule of allegations. Kasi yung PS mo kasi, yung position statement, di ba? And you were talking
Yeah,
about...
PS, yeah.
SP.
Minsan nakakalimutan.
What's your SP? What's your PS? Diba? What's your PS?
Yeah, where's your PS? Exactly.
Where's your PS? Where is your
Where's
PS?
your
Parang
PS?
physical,
Yeah, PS, where's your position statement? Minsan, nakakalimutan. Kaya ako din, kasi nag-ano ako with other lawyers or with team members. Tapos, nalalagay ko yung acronym sa client. Na din ako na hindi ko na minsan baka hindi ko na expound yung acronym. So it's quite good to also share these acronyms with you. It's really widely used ng mga abogado, and also by the court. Yung CAO, yung CAFCAS na yan, definitely, and the position statement and fact finding. You will probably see it very much on the notes of lawyers.
Ayan, CPIP, SPIP, CPIP, SPIP.
SPIP, yan,
Separated
parati
Parents
yan.
Information Program. So, malaking bagay. At least, baka sakali when you come across these things, and eventually, maski pa meron kayong knowledge, no? Dito sa ating, pinag-uusapan. O yung mga binabanggit ni attorney, in case, like, for example, Children Act proceedings, pinag-uusapan, no? And then next week, we're going to be having a new set of terminologies, jargons, yung mga acronyms na naman, no? For next week. Very interesting, di ba? Very interesting din yan. Kasi minsan pag sinabing, ikaw siguro, unwittingly, o di ba? You mention it, pati si Attorney Lira, you mention mga acronyms. So, teka muna, ano nga ibig sabihin nun? Balikan nga natin yun. Ayun, ano ibig sabihin nun? Okay, meron tayong some questions dito. Hindi pumapasok yung pagbati natin pero pabatiin natin muna tong merong nag-react si kanina. Tinasabi ko, kung okay sila. Si Emily Rafael, yan. Wala pa naman safe kami dito. At very strict sila dito. For using face mask every 2 weeks PCR test mandatory. Ayun.
Wow. Okay. Wow.
Sa Spain sinisita ako. I was inside a mall feeling na ako dahil 'di ba feeling UK ako during that time wala tayong mask. Nakahiga lang ako sa gitna ng parang merong mga sala sofa doon. Pahinga lang ako, nilapitan ako ng gwardiya para pagsuotin ng mask. So I had to wear my mask sa loob ng So okay yun, tama yun. Wala masamang hindi ako masama ang loob, hindi ako yung parang, bakit ganun? Hindi ko na sabihin, oy, sa UK kami. Hindi, wala naman ako sa UK, nasa Spain ako. So yan. Ito, bago to, attorney, Nalene de la Vega Calumba. Merry Christmas in advance, both of you. Keep safe, always watching here in Notting Hill. Wow. Thank you, Miss Calumba. Nalene ba? Babae ba yan? Nalene, no? Siguro Nalene de la Vega.
Merry Christmas,
Thank you. Thank you. Nag-freeze yung ating yung ating Facebook, hindi masyadong lumalabas, hindi natin maipakita, no? Okay, meron tayong question dito, attorney, no? Sige, ito, si Robbie na lang. Unahin muna natin. Robbie Douglas. Sabi niya, ayan, hello, are you able to give me some advice, reference some land owned by ex-wife and I, please?
Robbie, I think that
you have to qualify.
We need to have a one-on-one consultation with that. If you are saying this is about financial dispute resolution between two ex-spouses, that's a longer consultation. It's very fact-specific. So we don't just ask about the land, we ask about the whole financial picture. So it means land, all assets and liabilities pretty much. I would suggest call after Christmas, and because we're all on I'm on annual leave, and then we're close between Christmas and New Year. We do free 30-minute consultation, Robbie. So call me. I'll say the number now, but if you don't,
sige,
if you
direct pakilabas yung telepono ni attorney habang binabanggit niya.
It's 01234-225-188, or email me at d.quinto@dvsolicitors.com. There it is, Robbie. It's d.quinto@dvsolicitors.com. 01234-225-188. What would be helpful, Robbie, before the consultation is if you can give me as much information as possible as to your assets and liabilities, not just yours, but your ex-wife as well. If this is about, if this is about financial dispute between ex-spouses. If it is not, then I think it's still good to give as much information as possible. But I think you're best served by a free 30-minute consultation. So I look forward to hearing from you in the new year.
Ayan. Hindi natin alam kung ang ex-wife niya Pinay o mukhang Pinay ang kanyang current love. no? O mahilig sa Pinay. Ganyan ang mga Briton no? May mga Briton na ang hilig nila Pinay talaga. So ex nila Pinay, yung current nila Pinay din, no?
Pinay pa rin, yes, that's right.
Unless yung dalawang Pinay ay nag-agawan, no? So nagsabunutan muna sila at one time, no? Ang love, naku, masalimuot. Love this Christmas. Give love on Christmas Day. Ayun. Anong favorite Christmas song ni Attorney? Na Pinoy, OPM?
Siguro Alagaw Classic, siguro si Jose Marichan pa rin. Because every time I hear
Jose Marichan pa rin. Whatever the community celebrate. Ano kanta yun?
Yes.
Stand in this morning, happy kasama yung anak ba niya kasama niyo? Yung babae, kumakanta, di ba?
Hindi ko na po alam, pero talagang kahit bata pa ako, naririnig ko si Marichan.
Classic. Alam mo kaya all artists they dream of having a Christmas song or album or anything, no? Kasi once na nag-click, every year na yan, forever na yan.
Forever na may royalty.
O royalties at saka andyan every Christmas, di ba? Maririnig mo yung song mo. Di ba? Yung mga Jackson 5 o ano pa ba yung mga song. Basta yung mga Christmas songs.
That's right.
Sa English songs, ano paborito mong song naman? Artist or singer?
Iniisip ko nga wala, hindi siguro. I think, kung hindi ako particularly musical. So, I would just go with whatever's on the music. I wouldn't say I like something in particular. But you're quite musical, aren't you?
Well, as a DJ, no, parang aside from being a folk singer, because I was singing professionally when I was young. Yes, I was singing professionally as a folk singer. Yes, I was paid between 30 to 50 pesos per night. Mura pa ng araw. Ganun, no? 50, 60, yeah, no? Pero mga folk songs to back then. And then, I got into broadcasting naman. So, musical. Pero, di ba pagka nasa mga supermarkets ka, di ba mapapansin, puro Christmas songs yung piniplay? Lalo na mga because it sets you in the mood, di ba? Parang to go shopping.
That's right.
Ikaw ba, pag nasa bahay ka, let's say on the weekends, wala kang ginagawa, don't you probably listen or play just Christmas background music niyan parang just to set you in the mood na parang, Christmas ngayon, parang ganun. Hindi ba masyado?
Hindi po masyado. Probably just on Christmas Day. Na before I go to Christmas celebrations.
Oy.
Yun siguro, but not normally, hindi ako yung every weekend coming up to Christmas. Unfortunately, hindi ako.
Direct, meron na ba, nakalabas na ba yung day, how many days for Christmas? Yung Pinoy Radio UK, 4 days. Meron yung ano tawag dito? Ang Pinoy Radio UK, you go to pinoyradiouk.com. We play 24/7 Philippine OPM na Christmas songs, no? Yung mga kanta nila. Sino ba yan? Si Ariel ano pangalan?
Rivera pa?
Ariel Rivera, Kula Desma, Kapuhay Society. Lahat ng mga OPM songs yan, mapapakinggan ho ninyo sa Pinoy Radio UK, no? 24/7 ho yan. Kaya mag-i-enjoy kayo. Mga lumang kanta from old to new ones, no? Mapapakinggan ho ninyo. Italia yan. Direct Italia. Okay. Pinoy Radio UK, So yan, pag gusto ho ninyo medyo nasa in the mood ho kayo ng mga music na Pinoy, OPM, Pinoy Radio UK, direct, hindi Italia. Parang Italia yung nakikita ko sa iyo. Okay, anyway, so yun, musical lang ng konti, no? Pero you could listen to it. Ito, piniplay namin to ito, lalabas lang ni Direct, no? Wala ka bang copy yan sa'yo? Kasi nandito kasi yan. So para lang maingganyo lang ho kayo, pero mag-i-stretch siguro yan, Direct. Subukan lang natin, no? Ipapakita lang natin to Attorney lang. Hindi nag-stretch. Sige, okay lang. Akala ko nag-stretch. Ayan! 24/7 na Pinoy Radio UK. Puro OPM yan. Ayan, Okay, ayan. Attorney. Ayan, si Attorney. Okay, next question. May question tayo, no? So, Robbie, ring up after Christmas ba? That's gonna be in the New Year now.
Yeah, that's right. In the New Year.
In the New Year now. Sige. So, later on, at the end of the show, when we say goodbye, Attorney would mention Once again, her telephone number and her email address wherein you can contact her or contact the firm. Okay, may question dito. Sige, legal question natin for tonight. Sige, attorney, go, yan.
Hi, magandang gabi po sa inyo, Attorney Donna and Sir Sonny. Meron po kaming na-encounter na issue sa landlord namin. Sa bahay po talaga ang problema, pero every time po nire-raise po namin yung concerns, wala silang pakialam at sa amin pa po ay sinisisi. Halimbawa na po, dumadami po yung surot, sasabihin na kami daw po nagdala. Since day one pa lang po, napansin na namin na barado ang banyo. Maitawag man po namin, wala naman pong naging solusyon. Ano pa ba dapat ano po ba ang dapat namin gawin? 12 months po ang kontrata namin dito. 6 months pa lang po kami. Right, Star. Yung banyo and yung landlord nyo has an obligation to provide you proper facilities, including yung bathroom facilities and all of that. Better make it in writing, Star, yung issues na to. Better make it in writing na ito yung mga problema nyo. You can actually withhold rent if there are disrepair issues, but you're gonna get into litigation landscape pa ganyan. So magkakaroon na kayo ng kumbaga hindi na magiging ganun ka-positibo ang relationship niyo ng landlord, which probably will not matter at the moment because ngayon pa lang hindi na ganun kaganda ang relasyon niyo dahil hindi naman kayo hindi pinapansin yung mga concerns niyo. You can do that. You can withhold rent on that basis, but kailangan mong iklaro na yun ang ginagawa mo. Ginagawa mo yun dahil he's breached some disrepair notices. At first, bigyan mo muna ng formal notice by in writing. Make sure you have evidence. Make sure pinicturan mo yung mga barado na or video mo yung mga problems in terms of the houses. See if he replies. In the long run, as I've said, you can try to withhold rent, but I would suggest, hopefully, you can use that as a negotiating tool para magkaroon ka ng early release sa iyong kontrata. That's what I would do. Instead of going all the way na pag-awayan niyo sa korte, what I would do is use those to say, well, we're clearly not seeing eye to eye. You know, what I want is just to have an early release sa kontra. Saying that, kailangan check mo din yung kontrata mo. Baka meron kang break clause na tinatawag. Some of them have break clauses at 6 months. So it's worth looking at that, na hindi mo na kailangan magbigay ng napakaraming explanation or you don't need to negotiate. If you have a natural break clause na pwede mong gamitin, mas madali yun. I'll probably have a look at it if you want me to. If you want me to, send it to me. Nasa vacation, kumbaga, kay Oliver from American Term, nasa vacation na kami ngayon. But we're back in the new year. So forward your contract. I'll have a look at it. That's what I would do. I'll have a look at the contract first. Tingnan ko kung may break clause, early exit. If not, I will certainly put the disrepair in writing. I will ask him to deal with it in accordance to his landlord obligations. I think it's under Section 11 of the Landlord and Tenant Act 1985. And then failing which, you can threaten to withhold the rent. But in the long term, what I would do really is find another place, because this landlord is no good, and you're much better off going to a place where you don't have to argue with the landlord about everything. So that's the practical as well as the academic advice. You can contact me at d.tinto@dvsolicitors.com or call me at 01234225188. Let's have a look at your contract. Let's have a look at your tenancy agreement. Baka may tenants break notice.
Okay, all right. Okay. Attorney, hindi ko alam, parang si Robbie nag-message ng some specifics eh. Would you like to read it o saka lang natin? Sabihin na lang natin kumontak na lang sa'yo.
let's have a look.
Oh, sige.
Let's have a look before we go.
Direct, sige. Ilabas mo nga yung may mga specifics eh. Ito yung, so right after we were discuss mo yung sinasabi niya, sumagot ka agad 7:34 kanina eh. A few minutes. Sige, ito labas mo. Direct. Ayan. Hi. Ayan, pakibasa, attorney.
Okay. Hi, I live in the UK, was married to a Filipino. We jointly purchased a lot in Samal Island, and it is a marital asset under UK law, correct? My ex-wife is refusing to get a true valuation in the lot, and this is stopping any legal financial settlement in the UK. I don't know what to do or if there's anything I can do. I can't get my own valuation done as I'm not on the title. Robbie, if you are under a formal proceedings, we call financial dispute resolution proceedings, that will form part of the issue that will be put forward to the court. You will say, you will ask her, you will, very early on in the proceedings, you will be asked to put a Form E. You probably have heard of that. And if she doesn't put it on the Form E, you will say to her, why haven't you done it on the Form E? At the hearing, at the first hearing, you will raise it to the court, or your barrister or your lawyer will raise it to the court. And then we will seek directions from the court. It will probably form part of the questions. We will seek directions to the court as to how we can get a valuation. It doesn't matter if you're not on the title. That's irrelevant. It's an asset. It's her asset. It should form part of the Form E, and we should have some value attached to it. If she doesn't play ball, then it's not, it's, the court will ask her why, obviously, why are you not getting valuation? Is it just because it's impossible, or it's just hard or difficult given the pandemic? But from my experience in terms of international valuation, Samal is a fairly known island. It's a fairly known island for investment opportunities. In reality, I don't think it is impossible to get a valuation. I think what we need is a court order asking her to produce a valuation, failing which negative inferences could be drawn upon her case. It will form part of the consideration of the court. It doesn't matter if you're not in the title. It still forms part of what, in my opinion, it could still form part of what the court needs to consider when it goes into when it has to divide up matrimonial property. So that's it. I don't know if you are in the proceedings. If you're not, then your chances are you're much better off getting a court order as to obtaining valuations of this property, as well as all other properties. I think you know the drill. All other properties, all other matrimonial assets, it's a fair game for all. We get valuations here in the UK, we get valuations abroad as well. So that's and also paper trail, not just valuation, but paper trail, how much was spent on it, when did you buy it? So it gives additional flavor, peripheral information. So we normally ask for a paper trail of the purchase, completion statements of the purchase, although that's probably not what we call it in the Philippines. So we know how much exactly was purchased. Did you get any rental income out of it? So that's one thing that we would ask as well. Or did she get any rental income out of it? And there will, and I would, if that's me, I would certainly ask for the court to order the valuation. If she doesn't, then she'll be in contempt of court order.
Samal, attorney, that's in Davao, no? A very big
island. That's Davao. Yeah, Davao. That's Davao. It's I have had. It's not unusual to have difficulties in terms of valuation. We're currently dealing with a number of international valuations at the moment, but that doesn't stop the court from ordering a valuation. They will say, look, it's not impossible. It is hard and difficult, but not impossible. Go get a valuation. Or
According to
between
the-
you,
Mhm.
alternatively, between you, you agree to evaluation. So either you get evaluation or you agree to evaluation. Because from us, what we did is we looked at, and this is, I think I can say the name of the country. Anyway, it's a Southeast Asian country. I probably won't say the name of the country just in case we break confidentiality. It's a Southeast Asian country. We look at most countries now have online estate agents. It is very difficult, but it is not impossible. I'm not having a go at you, Robbie. I know it is difficult. What needs to happen is an impetus. She needs to be compelled by the court. It needs to be in an order so that she can be given a warning by the court that if she doesn't do as what she's told, that means A, she's breaking the law because it's a contempt of court, and B, the court can say, okay, we'll call someone, and if they say it's worth 200, 300, 500,000 pounds, then that will be it. How much did you pay for it? Okay, we can ask a land lawyer in the Philippines. These are difficult problems, but not impossible problems to solve. You can gather evidence around it, like purchase price, like talking to a local lawyer in the Philippines or a local estate agent in Davao to give you some idea. Samal Island is a fairly known island in the Philippines and quite known as an investment area.
Oh, meron akong dalawa. I've got a couple of friends, no, who own resorts, no, this yung Sabrina, Villa Sabrina, and Hofgoray, no, yung mga kaibigan natin.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, teka muna. He mentioned that they bought yung labas mo nga yan, direct yung sinabi lang niya yung may isang line doon eh. Yung kay Douglas, yan. Sabi niya, sige, we jointly purchased. Okay. What if, kung separate lang yung babae, purchased it probably out of her own money, meron ba siyang hahabulin?
Yep, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It needs to go on before me. It doesn't matter who owns it or whose title. He's probably not in the title because he's a foreigner and he's barred from owning Filipino land. That's probably the reason why. His argument is that the purchase monies was joint matrimonial monies. But even if it was her own money, it still forms part of the disclosable assets. And then her lawyers can then make their own arguments as to why it should not be a part of the matrimonial pot. But it doesn't mean that you are excused from not disclosing it. So you still have to disclose it. When the Form E says disclose your assets and liabilities, it doesn't say disclose only your assets and liabilities in both names. It says all assets and liabilities, whether here or elsewhere in the world.
Okay, well, ayan. There you go, no, Robbie. If you have the chance, no, at the time, contact attorney Dana.
Robbie, here, yes.
And
it's a normal issue, Robbie. For what it's worth, it's a normal issue. The valuation of international property assets. When I say normal issue, it's a normal. Some would say tactic by the other side, and they will say, "Oh, it's so hard to get a valuation." But it has to get valued. And you are right, it will stop a settlement because the court will say, what's happening here? How can I give an indication if I don't know how much this property is costing us? So it will be very hard, but you just have to really, really push the case so that you get her to a point where she's in breach of an order and she doesn't have it, and the court will draw negative inferences based on her conduct, based on her lack of cooperation on the matter. I'm not saying this because, whether regardless you're Filipino, you're from here, or from elsewhere, it is not an excuse that you may say, oh, I'm not from here, I don't know what's happening, what's the law. Unfortunately, that's not an excuse. The court will apply the same rules, whether or not you are an expat, you are an immigrant, or you have overseas property or not. So get valuation, get an order. If she doesn't follow that order, the court might give her a couple of times, but what you will have a final hearing in any event, and it's not going to be positive for her if she doesn't play ball or cooperate. And you may potentially have an argument to say you have incurred extra cost for chasing these valuation because she's not doing what she's supposed to do. But you need to be able, your lawyers or you, this is a very technical area, so I hope you're represented. Your lawyers would have to produce the paper trail that they've asked her, they've chased her, and you yourself, and if she's really not doing, really understand why she's saying she can't get the valuation. If we're able to sell a property, if you're able to buy a property, it means someone has attached a value to that property. If you sell a property later, and valuation, there's nothing scientific about valuation. Valuation is just what is the market value of a certain asset at a particular point in time. So perhaps you can ask a broker, hi, I'm planning to sell my Samuel Island. How can I sell it for? How much can I sell it for? That in itself is a valuation. But obviously it needs to be either agreed between you, or the court will determine if you put forward an evidence, 2 or 3 evidence. I've called 3 brokers, then they all said this. They said one figure, other figure, and the other figure. The court might say, well, let's average those figures. But it depends on what directions did the court say in this instance. Okay, I think it's worth a call in the new year. Very interesting, but also quite a common issue in cases with international elements.
Okay, all right, ayan. Okay, so yan, there you go, Robbie. Contact Attorney Dana in case you want to know, what your steps are, things that you have to do. Okay, well, I guess it's time for us to say goodbye. Pero mga last couple of messages tayo. Wala si Ma'am Cora kanina eh. So
Hi, si Ma'am
ayan.
Cora. Sir
si Ma'am
Sonny,
Cora.
Attorney Dana, and all. Good evening, Ma'am Cora. Advance Merry Christmas. Happy Christmas, everyone.
Yes,
Wow,
yes,
ang
Merry Christmas.
sexy, Attorney Dana. I like your dress. At Sir Sonny, ang pogi niyo sa shirt. Yes, it's actually, ano ba yun, yung jumpsuit. So, hindi siya dress, jumpsuit siya. So, para siyang, it's very comfortable.
Okay. Attorney, can you stand up a bit? Pwede ka ba makita namin ano suot mo? Para makita namin yung total. Kita. Ayan. Then, lumayo ka, Attorney. Malayo. Pwede ka ba namin makita? It's whole pants ba? Whole pants yan? Sige, layo ka lang. Sige, para makita ka lang namin kung how you, mahaba pala siya. So, pants yan, Attorney.
Yeah, it's a jumpsuit.
Oo, jumpsuit. Ang ganda. Okay. Maganda. Oo. Yung isang green na suot mo, ano siya? Dress siya. Ito, pants to.
Dress for you.
Ayun.
This is
Ito, dress to, suot mo na to. Ayan, oo. Oo nga, dark. Parang how do you call this kind of green? Anong green yan? How would you describe this green?
Hindi teal, no? Teal ba yan? Very dark green. Dark green siguro.
Was it a one-night event, Attorney? Yan sa lodge sa may Chichester? Was it a one-night thing?
2 nights.
2 nights.
2 nights, yeah.
2 nights kayo natulog, nagstay doon, pero one night yung celebration nyo? O iba ang suot mo the following day?
Yeah, iba yung suot ka the following day.
Ito ba yung kasama mo, yung sabi mo, bata pa siya, ganun na siya, bilog na siya? Yun ang second day na suot mo? Yan ang suot mo the following day?
No. There's another one. I put it on my story ata. Hindi ko nang na-post na napag.
Okay. Oh, maganda. You look very beautiful and wonderful tonight. Parang kanta, no?
Thank you.
Eric Clapton, you look wonderful tonight. Yeah, it's nice. Oh, but teka muna. Go ahead.
We made an effort kasi wala po sa amin ang uuwi sa Pilipinas. So lahat kami andito sa UK just because it's pandemic and lahat kami walang mga families here. So we made an effort to amuse ourselves at dress up. Yeah, dress up, kumain. Yun lang ginawa namin. Kumain, mag-dress up,
Yes.
played cards, tumawa. And that's it. It's good. It doesn't take a lot to really, sometimes to celebrate life.
Maganda. Nainggit nga ako. If I can get some best friends ko, 3 or 4, to be together. Kasi kamukha ito, mahirap pumunta ng Pilipinas, di ba? I'd like to do that.
Hirap
Gusto ko
umuwi.
naman sila yung nasa labas, yung ibang ambience naman, no?
That's right.
At least kayo, you were at one time in Mindanao, di ba? Together playing
Opo.
when you were kids. Ngayon, iba na, mga adults na kayo, di ba? And may kanya-kanya na kayong mga careers, di ba? And ang sarap nagkakasama pa rin kayo. And then you reminisce the times that when you were young, di ba? Yung mga
Exactly.
laro lang kayo,
Exactly.
di ba? Yun ang pinakamasarap. Very, di ba? I'd love that. I envy you talaga. Honestly, I envy you because I'd like to have it with a few of my friends to be together. Siguro kami. Mag-get together, mag-travel, dito sa Europe, no? Sana mangyari. Baka mangyari kasi ako baka maging sponsor, yun ang problema. The sponsor, di ba?
Yun talaga yan.
Yun ang mangyayari nun. But anyway, sana nga, tumama tayo sa lottery, tapos na. Tonight, di ba? Tapos na. Nag-draw na ba? O, kanina pa. 7:30 ang draw yata, di ba? Or ang closing ng taya sa lottery. Pero so, hindi natuloy ang mo, sa yung 30th, no? Anyway, pag-usapan natin, pagka next week, next Tuesday, we will find out from you kung ano ang latest mo. Is there an alternative activity na gagawin?
Tingnan po muna natin kung ano yung announcement ni
Tama.
ni Boris.
Oo,
So
let's
more
find
on
out.
wait and see kasi napakahirap mahirap ngayon magplano dahil
Tama.
talaga.
Oo.
Yeah,
I was
let's
about-
see.
Ano pangalan ng bullet? Yung parang, di ba, may shard, may parang bullet. Ano yung pangalan ng bullet?
Is it the egg building?
No,
the
it's not the egg
gherkin,
building.
the gherkin.
Yeah,
The
gherkin.
gherkin.
The gherkin, yeah.
Gherkin.
Oh, yung gherkin. Oh. I was trying to book something doon, pero I had to not to proceed because of this current situation, no? Para sa sayang, no? Anyway, attorney, sige, magpaalam na tayo, no? Go ahead, please.
Yes, I just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Maligayang Pasko po sa lahat ng ating manonood. Maraming salamat po sa suporta, sa pagmamahal, sa trivia, sa greetings, sa questions, sa participation this year. It really made my year. It made me feel at home every single time umuwi po ako dito. Nararamdaman ko na umuwi po ako sa tahanang Pilipino. So maraming salamat po. Keep safe, and may you have a joyful and as I've said, safe festive season. To Mr. Laragan and Direk Pao, thank you so much for an amazing year. Maraming salamat sa inyong dalawa. It's been great. Kayo yung parang Filipino home ko dito every Tuesday. So thank you so much, and when we see you next week, sana mas mabuti na yung sitwasyon natin sa UK.
Oh. Hopefully, makasama natin si Direk. Pakita lang natin. Maski magpaalam siya mismo.
Makita
Babati
natin,
siya ng
correct.
New Year, di ba?
Next
Almost
week.
New Year na.
New
Tsaka
Year
birthday
tayo.
mo. Next week,
birthday.
a few days before your birthday. Kasi kailan ang Christmas? Sa Sabado, Christmas. Ang birthday mo is on the, is it on a Thursday ba? Wednesday?
Nakalimutan ko nga.
Ano ba ang 30th? Ano ba ang 30th?
Wednesday
Direct, tingnan mo
ba?
yung 30th.
Thursday
Ano
ba?
ba ang araw yung... Ano araw may 30th?
Thursday nga po.
Webes.
Thursday po.
Webes.
Yan.
Oh, Thursday. Oh,
Yes.
yeah. So, ayan, papakita natin si Direk lang para bumati sa ating mga kababayan na intriga sila. Sino ba si Direk dyan? No? Si
Si
Direk
Direk
Pao.
Pao.
Sige, oo. Hindi ko alam kung magsusuot si Direk ng kamukha ng suot mo, attorney, no?
Party mode na tayo.
Party mode. Oo.
Wala nang totoong party, puro virtual na lang.
Oo, siyempre, pakikita natin paano natin yung ating director. Siyempre, kaya maghahanda na si director for next week, no? So, you said Merry Christmas to everybody. Yeah, I wish everybody a Merry Christmas. Few days from now, it's gonna be Christmas time. Christmas Day. Ingat-ingat lang. Christmas wish ko lang. This is our second COVID Christmas. The first one was last year, 2020. But you were also in Pakistan.
I was in Pakistan,
You were
yeah.
in Pakistan during that time, no? You had your Christmas in Pakistan. Supposedly,
Right,
your
yeah.
Christmas or yung birthday would have been in Greece. Ano ba, may chance pa ba mag-ituloy ba o talagang hindi na ano?
Hindi na siguro.
Hindi na siguro, no? Dahil may delikado na eh.
Medyo delikado talaga, I think. At,
Delikado na, oo.
Delikado. Yeah.
Delikado. So, tama.
Okay lang
We'd
yun.
like to...
Okay lang yung canceled. May next time pa naman.
May next time. And it's not only happening to you, it's happening to everybody. People are canceling their weddings, canceling their whatever they have, no? Because of the current situation. Wala ho talaga tayo magagawa, no? We have even loved ones medyo pigil din. Hindi tayo pwedeng tumodo ngayon because of yung ating bagong COVID na napakadelikado. So ingat-ingat lang ho. Siguro ganun, nagkakamukha siguro I'd like to echo the wish, no? Kay ni Attorney, Merry Christmas to everybody as well, no? And thank you very much for being a part of this social virtual bubble na nangyayari sa atin. And yeah, thank you very much. At sana hindi kayo nagsasawa dito sa ating ginagawa, no? Because it's our way of reaching out, no? Kumbaga parang it makes us a bit sane, no? By doing this. Dahil people, by the way, loneliness. Meron tayong department or ano yata for loneliness. Loneliness ho talaga. Kaya malaking bagay ho talaga yung may ganito tayo. So I'm glad, no? Na nakakasama dahil sa attorney and lahat, no? Pati sa attorney Lira dito sa ating station. So abangan ho niyo. Hopefully we'll do some better things for the next year. Mas magkakaiga-igo ho at hopefully, no, with your support, we will be serving more Filipinos, yung ating mga kababayan dito sa United Kingdom. Okay, so I guess it's time for us to say goodbye on behalf of our very lovely, sexy, beautiful, and intelligent, no, pretty intelligent lahat, kompleto na Attorney DANNA, ayan, who's going to be celebrating her birthday next week. Okay, next week na yan, di ba? Tama? Next week na. Next week, a week and 2 days, no? Ayan, oo. So, at sa ngalan din ho ng ating director na si Paula Perez, no, Roque Perez, hopefully next week maghahanda siya at tingnan, baka pakantahin pa natin sa attorney, no? Si Direk Pao. Mahusay kumanta to. Tingnan natin, baka mapapakanta natin. So, sa ngalan mo, attorney, sa ngalan ni Direk Pao, ito po si SONNY LARAGAN nagsasabing maraming salamat ho sa inyong walang sawang pagsubaybay dito ho sa Legal Advice Corner every Tuesday, no, evening. Thank you for making it a habit to be a part of us. So, I guess wala na ho tayo masasabi kundi kayo ho ay mag-ingat na mabuti. Yung mga kaibigan ho natin na tinamaan ng COVID, get well soon. Hindi ko na pagbabanggitin pa uli ang mga pangalan. Okay? Ingat-ingat ho kayo. Take care. God bless. And have a safe and wonderful Christmas. Good night sa inyo.
Good night. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Sa World Remit, naiintindihan namin ang iyong paglalakbay. Na minsan, kailangan lumayo upang makamit ang tagumpay. With ways to save more, when you send more, World Remit is here for you, so you can be there for them.